from the perspective I have, I would say that there's a lot in the current internet that is disappointment, but far more that has been just an amazing, wonderful surprise. You know, when I started, working with the internet, it was magical to be able to send an email. It was magical to be able to, FTP into a remote site. And then, wow, even more magical when the World Wide Web came along and you could click on a link and all these things would happen. But, oh my gosh, what can you do today? It is so far beyond what we imagined in those early days. And, the power of services like Google, the immense bounty of services that we get for free. And yes, there are a lot of people who are very critical of the advertising business model, and yes, it can be very intrusive, but it can also be done well. I find, Google has, I think, for 20-some years, a better part of 20 years, done a pretty good job of trying to balance the needs of a huge advertising market with the needs of of users. And I never find ads in Google services to be intrusive. Now I do from a lot of other sites, and guess what? I don't use them as much. I try to avoid them. So that's a sign of a kind of fairly robust architecture. And it's interesting because I do see other companies. I just noticed myself for the first time. I found ads in Twitter to be intrusive. I've generally found them intrusive in Facebook, but I found myself in Instagram starting to go, actually, that looks interesting. So I guess there's somebody else who's figured out right. If you do it right, you actually, that thing that pays the bills can be seen as a service. And I just think that on the whole, I'm not somebody who sits there and says, oh my God, this current internet is terrible. It's, for all that's wrong with it, it's pretty darn wonderful.